So Dak is trying to get Dak just apparently, I'll say apparently, turned down 5 years, $175 million because he wants the fifth year.
$175 million? Did you say 175?
I said 5 years. Apparently, I'm just going with the apparently, or the reported. 5 years, 175, and in the fifth year, he wants $45 million.
Who? Wow. Who does this nigga think he is? Go on. Go
so
on.
He
turned down $175 million playing football.
No, so he pretty much. So he wouldn't take $35 million a year.
$35 million a year. He will not take $35 million a year because I think what he's trying to do is he really wants 5 years. He doesn't really want 5 years. He wants a short. He wants like the Kirk Cousins type ordeal, and I know Kirk Cousins is 3 years, 84, but he wants that type of ordeal where he can re-up again after the TV contract hits again, whenever that's supposed to hit, like probably 2 or 3 years. So he wants to be able to capitalize around as well.
But so he's saying he's out his goddamn mind, is what you're saying. Okay. Okay.
Kirk Cousins, right? Do you think the Minnesota Vikings is regretting doing that shit?
No, but they just re-upped him though. They just re-upped Kirk Cousins.
Right, but they modified that goddamn contract.
But they extended them at the same time.
But do you think that is smart to give up that much money for Kirk Cousins?
It's not as much as Dak Prescott, so they got in front of the Bucks.
That's my point. Like, it's no way that I'm about to give up that much money. Like, cuz we bang with you. We want you to be here, but god damn.
We love you.
Wouldn't $35 million a year for the next 5 years be the highest paid quarterback?
Yes.
I hate
it. Why you don't want that?
That's more than
we're not having that. You haven't got us. Did he get you to the playoffs? Maybe once.
He didn't even got no ring.
Twice. 2 out of 4 years.
Oh, my bad.
Listen,
my
Dak has got
Cowboy.
2 out of 4 years. But listen.
But no ring, though.
Hear me out.
That's Showtime Mahomes money.
Wild scenario.
Ben Roethlisberger's not even asking for that much, but okay, go ahead.
Fuck Ben Roethlisberger. I would not be opposed.
He got 2 rings, but go ahead.
And I would not be mad if we let Dak
Tom Brady doesn't even ask for that much money, but go ahead.
I would not be mad if we let Dak go and then sign Cameron Cecil Newton.
Cameron Cecil Newton.
Listen to me. With that 35 or whatever
one, I would hate to see that.
With that 35 plus, with that 30, Cam Newton.
You have the same thing. Is what I'm saying. You'll have the same thing. Cam is a baller. Don't get me wrong. He's a baller. But he's nowhere as near accurate as Dak Prescott or any of these motherfucking.
Okay. I get your point. But can you hear me out?
My bad. Go ahead.
With that 35 mil, we're not paying Cam 35 mil for 1 year, let alone 2 years or however long the fuck. Cam is coming off of a deal where he just got paid and then he just got released. So he's actually on a show and prove. So then putting that money towards Cameron, our quarterback, Newton, we put that money towards outside or put that money towards helping him and we actually build a team around him where Cam doesn't have to do nowhere near what Dak had to do. Anybody had to do. We got the playmakers, we have the receivers, we have all types of other avenues around him. But at the same time, I don't see how you can pay 35 or 40 mil or whatever you have for a quarterback right now with the Cowboys roster. I'll say.
Let me ask you this.
I feel you.
Now, do you think who's a better quarterback, Cam Newton or Dak Prescott?
For the system or for the offense?
Regardless.
For the system, Dak Prescott. Hands down. But at the same time, don't forget we just signed Andy Dalton, and I know, whoa. This might sound bad.
Exactly.
Nowhere near compared to Dak. Andy Dalton is nowhere near to Cam Newton. But at the same time, it's a system. So with the system that is in place, Andy Dalton could come in and do some good things and not necessarily be like the epitome like what I'm saying, like franchise quarterback that leads us for 8 years to come. But he could also be that fucking Trent Dilfer led the Ravens to a Super Bowl. And I know Trent Dilfer was a fucking pawn on a Ravens defense. That whole shit that was the best defense of all time, one of the best defense of all times. But like, you have a good ass piece that can lead and have a surrounding cast, not necessarily leading to having to lead to the promised land.
I mean, what do you want? Like, all right, do you want longevity? Like, it sounds like you want to have your cake and I.
Nah, my cake. I don't want my salary cap to be hit for fucking the reason. One of the reasons why the Cowboys have not made big splashes for years to come, or for the last couple of years, and free agency is because we have always been like cap. We have always been cap strong. So if we were to do a fucking deal with Dak Prescott where we would get him 5 years, 175, and we already still have to pay. We just paid Deke. We just paid Zeke. We just paid Amari. We just paid fucking. We just paid fucking Jalen Smith. Pay Van Der Esch. We got to pay everybody. Like, you literally can't have the opportunity. You can't have the opportunity to fucking just be cap strong like that. Like again.
Since you're throwing out hypotheticals,
like Pittsburgh.
Hypothetically speaking, what if? Because just like Marcus always says, the backup quarterback is always is that person that the city seems to want to clamor for, right? Let's say they boo Dak Prescott. He's having a bad game, right? It's like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna throw Andy Dalton in there for the last quarter, right? And he's coming there and he show out, and then they start calling for him. Like, are you gonna be cool if he go in there and start, or do you just honestly want Dak Prescott in there?
No, I mean, hands down, I would rather have Dak Prescott.
But hold on.
To finish this year. That's it. Al said he want Brett Prescott to finish this year and then let him walk. That's what you're saying.
I don't want him to get cap strong. Like, I don't want him to.
That's what he wants. So
I got a question though. If y'all do let go of Dak Prescott and y'all would get Cam, who is starting? Cam or Andy Dalton? Who is starting?
Truthfully, it'd probably be Andy Dalton to start the season. We just don't know what Cam. We just don't know what. We don't know what Cam is health wise.
That's true.
And Andy Dalton health wise.
Yeah, he finished the season last year.
Barely.
I mean, he played for the Bengals that was trying
to barely
that was trying to lose. But yeah.
Interesting. Y'all niggas ain't got no Cam.
You want to see that nigga walk? You want to see Dak Prescott walk?
Because just don't want.
You're not giving up.
For what though?
And they gonna get RG3. RG3 gonna go home.
Shut the hell up.